Oh.
Is it okay to say something while we're
Sure.
streaming?
Yeah. Yeah. I just let people know that, you know,
Yeah.
we're now on YouTube.
But in 2011, on this day, was when Ken Rinpoche was here and he gave refuge, and I took refuge that night with him.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Okay. So I'm remembering that time.
Good. Wonderful. Mazel tov.
Let's see. And Venerable Chookie, the page, the page number you gave me in Liberation, that cleared it all up.
Excellent. Glad to hear it. Oh, sure. My pleasure.
Lama, maybe we can do some Tara mantras or Tara praises.
Sure. Let's see if I can find. Our praises. Let's see. That's too big. All right. Okay, so I'm going to share the screen. So if somebody would please tell me when Geshe is here,
Sure, I will.
we'll just read this without a tune. From your sublime abode at the Potala, O Tara, born from the green letter Tam, your crown adorneth Amitabha, action mother of the Buddhas of the three times. Tara, please come with your attendants. The gods and demigods bow to your lotus feet, O Tara. You who rescue all heart destitute, to you, Mother Tara, I pay homage. All my prostrate to the noble transcendent liberator. Homage, Tara's swift heroic, eyes like lightning instantaneous, sprung from opening stamens of the Lord with fearless triple notice. Homage, he whose face combines 100 ardent moons at fullest, blazing with thy race splendid as a 1,000-star collection. Homage, golden blue and lotus, waterborn and hand adorned, giving effort, calm austerities, patience, meditation, her sphere. Homage, crown of Tathagatas, actions, triumph without limit, relied on by conqueror's children, having reached every perfection. Homage, filling with Tatare, whom desire direction and space, trampling with her feet the seven worlds, able to draw forth all beings. Homage, worshipped by the All-Lord, Shakaani Bamamaru, honored by the host of spirits, courtiers, Gandharvas, Yakshas. Homage with her trained bass sounds, destroying those magic diagrams, her feet pressing left out right in, blazing in a raging fireblaze. Homage to her very dreadful, destroyer of Mara's champions, she with frowning lotus visage, who is slayer of all enemies. Homage at the heart her fingers, or adorn her with ritual mudra, lightning masses all excited, all directions his adorn her. Homage she so joyous radiant, crowning emitting garlands of light, mirthful laughing with the Tare, subjugating Mara's devas. Homage she able to summon all earth guardians assembly, shaking frowning with her whom sign, saving from every misfortune. Homage crown adorneth crescent, moon on ornaments was shining, Amitabha in her hair knot, sending out much light eternal. Homage she with three the blaze like, eon and fire abiding, watch that flip that joy surround you, troops of enemies destroying. Homage she who strikes the ground with her palm and with her foot beats it, scowling with the letter home, the seventh level she does conquer. Homage happy, virtuous, peaceful, she whose fearless peace nirvana. She endowed with Om and Soha, destroyer of the great evil. Homage she with joy surrounded, tearing both bodies asunder. Breezes whom in knowledge mantra, arrangement of the 10 letters. Homage to a Sid letter of the shape of syllable whom, life simply shakes the 3 worlds, Mira, Mandra, and Vidya. Homage holding in her hand the hair McLean of the Gelek form, with by Shokuntar and Pei, totally dispelling poison. Homage Yun gods and their kings, and the Kinras to honor. Armored in our joyful splendor, she dispels bad dreams and conflicts. Homage whose eyes bright with radiance of sun and full moon, with Isara and Tutade, she dispels severe contagion. Homage full of liberating, fired by the set of three natures, Trusus us the spirit yakshas, and raise corpus supreme ture. These praises with through mantras and prostrations thus are 21. Whoever is endowed with devotion for the goddess and recites this with supreme faith, remembering at dawn upon waking and in the evenings, will be granted all fearlessness, will perfectly pacify all negativities, and will eliminate all unfortunate migrations. The multitudes of conquerors will quickly grant initiation. Thus endowed with this greatness, one will eventually reach the state of a Buddha. If affected by the most terrible poison, whether ingested, drunk, or from a living being, just by remembering will one be thoroughly cleansed. If this prayer is recited 2, 3, or 7 times, it will pacify all the sufferings of torments caused by spirits, fevers, and poisons, and by other beings as well. If you wish for a child, you will get a child. If you wish for wealth, you will receive wealth. All your wishes will be fulfilled, and all obstacles pacified.
Geshe will be here shortly. He didn't have the link and I'm sending it to him. So we can continue.
Well, we finished it. So should we say some mantras then?
Sure, if you want to. Whatever you would like to do. I think we're fine. He should be here any minute now. I just sent him the link, so. Geshe is here.
Have a seat. Have a seat. Yeah, if you can send every Wednesday link, so then it'll be easy. So I don't remember the password. What password? Just have some password. Sorry for the delay. How's everybody?
Very good. Thank you, Geshe. Very good. Thank you, Geshe. Hope you are.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Good evening, Donasi. Good evening, Tom. Good evening, Lamula. Good evening, Chukila. Good evening, Karen. Good evening, Neely. Good evening, Susie. Good evening, Julie. Good evening, Alex. Sandra, already enlightened, long time ago. Good evening, Buddhisada Patrick. Joanna, good evening. Thank you for the flower. Good evening, Katina. What is that, Dorme? Good evening,
Yes.
David. What is that? Good night in Spanish.
Duerme bien? Sleep well?
Good evening, David. Good evening, Elise. Good evening, Kim. Good evening, Panditji, Pati. Good evening, Mary. How are you? Good evening, Peter.
Good evening.
Oh, yeah. Oh, good evening, Julie Rama. Good evening. Good evening, David. Good evening, Peter, the Enlightenment. Good evening, William. Yeah. Oh, and good evening for all the people who are watching on the YouTube. And sorry for the delay because of the lack of knowledge of technologies. When it's come down to technology, this brain is not working well. That's why 7 minutes is wasted. Yeah, Lamula, so lead prayer.
Start with the 7th prayer. Osum kupegone chatselo malubu tome Rang Korwa Dola Dang Da Sashi Perki Shushin Metal Tamri Rabinshi Nitegen Pari Sangye Shindu Miteruwa Itokunamdak Shinla Chirparshok Jetsunam ma tampak yenam kichukukala kense chujintri jita tsampe duje zima la shab gechuki Charpavabtusa idam guru ratamanalakam niryatayami.
Sanje Chodan Zonje Janam Chanjo Pardon Dane Dage Chushi Jibe Rola Penche Sanje Sanje Chodan Zonje
Dani tapsuchi
Dage Chushi Jibe Sanje Rola Penche Sanje Sanje Chodan Zonje Chodan Chanjo Pardon Dane Dagi Chushi Jibe Sanje Rola Penche Sanje Lama Sanje Lama Jetushin Lama Gudu de Kunji Chebo Lama Lama Chotsi Pangi Tuzi Nyerone Tawa Tambi Pangi Tambi Shuni Teze Kodam De La Chotsi. Oh yeah. So last many Wednesdays, I think since from the beginning this time. Oh, I was explaining instructions, how to do karma binding meditations based on Metta Buddha teachings. So that's what's been happening last a number of Wednesday night class. So in the world, or in our life, in our world, in our life, two types of issues. Issue that relate to the body, issue that relate to the mind. So those two issues very much has very, our life has very much impacted by those two types of issues, daily basis. Minute we are born to till now. Issue they related to the body, so there are many like solutions. How to keep your mind, how to keep your body healthy. The choice that you make, lifestyle, so on and so forth. Then, there's many things. So now issue related to the mind. So then, come abiding meditations become important, very critical importance, very beneficial to learn at least how to be mindful, Mm. Mm. What I think Shantideva, I believe Shantideva said, Shine Rabdu Debe, Hadunki, Nimon number Jumba, She, Thomas Shine Sachas. Oh, this is now like this like particular wisdom, what you call vipassana or special insight, vipassana in Sanskrit, the translated in English called special insight, Tibet is called Hartong, seeing something extra. Very, as a, like, not any kind of wisdom. This is very, very particular wisdom that we are talking about. The karma abiding can produce that wisdoms, wisdoms that eradicate the root of those two types of issues that we face as a sentient beings. So Shine Rabda Deva Hadong is like especially insight or vipassana that produced by karma abiding. So that vipassana or special insight is capable to eradicate all the delusions, means all the disturbing thought. Therefore, Shantideva said, walk for karma abiding meditations. Thomas in the very beginnings, walk for karma abiding meditations. Walk towards karma abiding or seek karma abiding. The very beginning, seek, you must seek karma abiding, Shantideva said. So then, like Lama Adisha, what Lama Adisha said, Shine yang la nam chabe, lon de tong da tage jang, rabdu pede, kum jeje, tenji dupa minjurus. So without instructions, without knowledge about how to do karma abiding meditations, you could invest, you could spend thousands of hours, but there will be no fruit. Shine yang la nam chabe means not knowing how to come about the meditation, not knowing the instructions, even though you put so much effort there, so that effort is going to be fruitless. So that's why, who said Lama Adisha said, that's why we have been learning how to do come about the meditations. Based on what you call this like great text, major text, or great text, not like text, so like taught by Metya Buddha. So that's why we are learning, Lama Atisha said. So without proper instructions how to do come up by the meditations, that you could spend thousands of hours, but there's going to be fruitless. That's why we need to learn. Why we should seek karma abiding, why we should seek karma abiding according to Shantideva, karma abiding produce special insight. So this special insight eradicates the root of all the problems. That's why we need to seek. So now you have all the why you should seek calm abiding, why you should learn those things, two things covered by those two masters. So then, so then for the reference, I said, so now I keep forgetting the name of the text. The material for the sake of reference, for everything, because we are consider ourselves a minor practitioners, everything that we do needs to motivate everything that we do. So the motivation must be similar to bodhicitta. Even learning is to share. In order to share, so need to understand the source. You need to understand what is the source and who taught. Oh, Maitreya Buddha taught this 5 folds and 8 applications or 8 adjustments. For the sake of knowledge, for the sake of reference, for the sake of practice. These 3 things. So the Maitreya Buddha taught 5 measures to 5 texts. So then one that Chukila said is probably many times, like in English, the distinguish extremely with middle way or something.
Distinguishing the middle from the extremes.
Distinguish the extreme from the middle. Even the children will descend some all the times, but somewhere there. It's not here, it's somewhere there. Not here, it's in the form. So now when you need, so that's why it's maybe easy to have here. No need to look anywhere. So Chukila said the name of the text. This has 5 chapters. Chapter number 4 is called Antidote. I'm not saying here something new that you never heard last few Wednesday night. The reason why I'm repeating this, make sure that we all, including myself, all of us, we will remember by heart. That's why. It's not like I'm not saying here something that you haven't heard last Wednesday. I'm saying something that you already heard last Wednesday. So then there's something that when you do meditation, that you are doing something that you are familiar. Some fast at the beginning, you are trying to meditate on something that you are not familiar. Then after that, you are trying to do meditation on something that you are familiar. And it's not something every time is new. Why? Because you have to become familiar in order to simulate, how is it? Assimilate. You have to become familiar. You can't just, done that, been there, done that only one time. That's not how it works. You need to remember. The text, the distinguished extreme, the distinguished middle way from extreme. Distinguished middle way from extreme text composed by Maitreya Buddha. And chapter number 5 and chapter number 4 is called chapter of antidote. In that chapter, then Maitreya Buddha talked about this 5-fold 8 antidotes. These complete instructions, how to do meditation calm abiding. That's why it's important. What's the result? Physical wellness, mental wellness, this is the result. Ultimate result, physical pliancy, mental pliancy. So then first need to do number of times, do review meditation, just review the materials by heart, just review 5 folds. What are those 5 folds? Go one by one. 8 antidotes. What are those 8 antidotes? That's called review meditations. So then when you remember all the instructions by your heart, no need to read the books. So then you do concentration meditation. Then you now do. So now, so that's exactly how you teach other people how to be mindful, how to walk towards mindfulness, how to build your mindfulness for the sake of your peace of mind. There's you are teaching based on something that's been taught, practices produce result. It's not like something somebody just made it up. Nobody tested, never heard of producing any result. Following that, Lama Atisha, there's no fruit. There's no fruit. So, the Meteor Buddha text, this Meteor Buddha text is all stanza. It's not loose sentence. There's two different texts. Some of the text all loose sentence, the long sentence. Some of them are stanza. There's only 6 or 7 syllables, like ornament of clear realizations from beginning to end of the text. Each line has 7 syllables. Not 8, not 9, 7, just 7. That's how Meteor Buddha wrote his text. Each one has 7 syllables, no 6 or 7, 8, just 7, beginning to end. 6 whichever intend to bus, ornament of clear realization. That is pretty much like most of the text. I'm not sure about Uttara Tantra, but there's a distinguished middle way from extreme, so that probably like stanza. Nyapa nga pong, nye, pa, nga, pong, du, shi, ge, ya. See, 6 whichever, there's only have 6 syllables. That's how it's not easy to write from beginning to every chapter. 6 syllables, 7 syllables. So when you read the Meteor Buddha text, then you see it. Then easy to remember. Because I'm not going to repeat. So now, what do you need? You need object. So we already talked that object. How you can get one? You have to create object. You have to create. We are talking about here creating mental image. Different between mental visual image or mental image. What is the difference between mental visual image and mental image? Is that different or not different? Huh? Is that different or not different?
Well, a blind person couldn't have a visual image.
Mental
Well,
visual image.
right.
Oh, okay, that's an interesting one. Blind person cannot have mental visual image, but they can have mental image.
Yes. Yeah, they can have mental image.
Well, now, maybe please set aside the blind person. So as for the person who has clear vision, what's for you? What's the difference for you, not the blind person? For you, what's the difference between mental image and visual mental image for you? Same. Just think about something. So now need to create mental image. Okay, so that's the first thing. That's the first. That's not the first thing, but first need to learn all this. First and foremost is how to get rid of laziness. Laziness. That's the most important things. So Meteor Buddha explained very clearly that. So now here it's not like, oh, there's nothing to teach new. Yeah, there are so much new to teach. It's not like that. That's not why I'm repeating this again. So I'm hoping that everybody will remember by heart. That's what I'm hoping. Me remembering this text here, it comes because you put some effort. You have interest, then you put some effort, and you meditate. And that's how you remember. Is the word you kind of memorize, and that's how you remember. So I'm hoping the same thing for everybody, that you remember next time when somebody asks you to, first of all, for yourself, teaching this degeneration time. First, you have to help yourself. Then teaching other, so then not able to have any, I think it's hard, in my point, it's hard. So if you meditate, if you think on daily basis, when you say to somebody else, there's something that you feel good because that you've been doing that. It's not like you've never done something you've never done before. All of a sudden you're telling people what to do. It's not that. Then practically that I say, it's more like sharing. It's more like sharing. So at least intellectually, okay. Otherwise, one Wednesday night, I can explain all of that. Second Wednesday, I can explain go through all the 9 stages, what it means. Not really. We just went through. We just went through this all. Then you can go through again. So then, each time bring the bag, go through that. Bag is very beginning, the bag is empty. When the class finish, the bag is still empty. Next time come back, empty bag. Finish with the empty bag. The brown, you probably remember brown bear catching mice each time catch, put under the butt, then think there's one, then go up, then catch another one left. At the end, think there's so many of them. At the end, there's only one. They're saying in monastery, don't memorize like brown bear catching mice. That means you just memorize, they never check whether you remember that by heart or not. You just memorize it. The second line, because the first line is only memorized. Do you remember? No. Yeah, you did memorize. Now, if you don't remember, then doesn't mean anything. So eventually it's good to have something in heart. It becomes handy. You just close your eyes. You need nothing. You don't need anything. You just close your eyes. And then you have here, everything here. Okay. So for first and foremost, why we become excited, why we don't become excited, why there's no will, why there's no will to do, laziness. So then after the create the mental object, there's something you have to look, create mental object. So then come by the meditation start. Then you are in the process of doing Kamabhati meditations. A lot of time you are in the process of learning how to do Kamabhati meditation. Now you are in the process of doing Kamabhati meditations. Now maybe you are in the process to developing, especially inside. So that takes step by step. So you have object now. So now what happens? Am I on the object? Am I holding the object? Is it clear? If it's not clear, what is happening? If the object is not clear, what is happening? Oh, children say
Thinking mind.
thinking, yeah, thinking mind. How many, what kind of thinking mind?
Gross.
Oh, it's very important. Recognize, important to understand. If you don't understand, then you may think, oh, no problem. No, need to understand thinking mind. Okay, so now objects there is clear, but that clarity, now you're losing the energy of the clarity. Slowly, not like rapidly, but slowly. What's happening?
Subtle
Huh?
thinking mind.
Oh, subtle thinking minds. So now you understand when you're meditating. Now you are actually doing karma binding meditations. Now you finish learning the instruction. Now actually you are doing karma binding meditation. Isn't that something? So now you are recognizing. Now you are having. You are meditating there. You are noticing what's happening. What's happening? Mm. Mm. If you forget the object, what's happening? Mm. Here, children understand everything here. She remembers. Mm. Yeah, said what's happening when you lose the object.
Forgetting the object, forgetting the instructions.
No, when you lose object, when you are meditating, now you are meditating, you are doing karma binding meditations. Your object is now Lama Tsongkhapa or Shakyamuni Buddha, now you're losing it.
Gross excited mind.
Oh yeah, gross excited minds is happening. Gross excited minds is happening. Something needs to be understood. So need to introspection needs to analyze. Mm. So now you are not losing your object, but you are seeing your object, but all of a sudden start to think about something else. Wondering like who's making the noise in the kitchen? Wondering like, did I take the milk out for coffee or not? That's like, but you are not losing the object. You are still remembering the object, but it like see like almost like as seeing the water underneath the ice. The object is like ice. You see the ice, but you're seeing through the ice, the water running. That's like without losing an object, seeing something. What's happening?
Subtle excited mind.
Oh, sort of excited mind. So see, in order to remember, need to review, need to do a couple of review meditations. Next time, able to teach without looking at book, because you do review meditation, there's a way to remember. Oh, how come you remember all of this? It's not like given by somebody as a Christmas gift. Put effort to do review, need to do review meditation, review to try to remember again. Or maybe we don't need to sit like always like this. Review meditation doesn't mean don't think like they have to sit like this. And when you're drinking, when you're nice weather outside, when you're drinking a coffee, just think, just think of like 5 falls, 8 antidotes, laziness. You can just relax and just review meditation. Doesn't have to be very serious to like this. You can just drink coffee and think. That's all. You can just laying down on your what's called rocking chair, rocking chair or rocking chair, something like that. So then thinking, then that's review meditation. That's review meditation. So then before you go to bed, you say, oh, 5 false, 8 antidote. Before you go to bed, you say something. Okay, remember. See, subtle thinking mind, gross thinking mind. Subtle wandering mind, gross wandering mind. Oh. At the beginnings, object should not expect that you can see the object long period of time. So there's a couple of key points. It's important. When to stop, when you feel good, when you feel very good. Good separations, good departures from the meditations, not the bad divorce, good divorce from the meditations. Okay, don't push. This is- First, stability is something to be concerned about. Stabilities, not the clarities. Stabilities. First, stabilities, just able to keep your mind on the object. Okay. So once you improve that, so then clarity you can work on. Okay. So first, stability. So then, what else? Shukila, anything left?
I don't think so, Geshe.
So now there are some people, some people like to choose visual image, visual or image, something they can see, something that has shape and color. And some people, it become kind of like distractions. So they choose no any image. They just choose. So in that case, I think like 2 Wednesdays ago, Julie led the meditations. So that case, just think like once you decide it, oh, I'm not going to think anything. What you're seeing, what you see. Say next moment, next couple of moments, I'm not going to think anything. Something flickering. Does it make sense? Flickering. And this I know last on the witness, you could say like Nawa Pempi. Pempi means Nawa is like, this like Nawa is appearances, something appears. Nawa means something that appears. You can't really tell this is this or this is that. You can't really tell this is that or this is white or this is red. You can't really tell. It's just how is it, something like flickering. Can't really tell what is it. Now no expectations, no concern, no expectation, no concern. No concern related to the past, no concern related to the futures, no expectations. Just to be. Nothing to change, nothing to fix, just to be, nothing to fix, nothing to change, nothing to transform, nothing to direct, nothing. Just, nawa pembe, ngani nawa pembe. Yeah, just you could close your eyes, just close and like, yeah, that's exactly what you're experiencing. That's called, In Tibetan what's called, there's called Nawa Pembi means you are experiencing something you can't really say this is that, this or this is that. You can say something. Reto, no expectation, zero expectations. No concern related to the past, related to the future. Just being present, just being. That's all, just being. In the moment, just being in the moment, nothing to fix, nothing to change, nothing to transform, nothing to redirect, nothing. Just time to be in the present. That's all. Just time to be in the present without expectation, without concern. Just be. Just little bit, just little bit. Be there just little bit. Just little bit. Nawa pembe nganyela reto laso namdo. Jeju kaya majibu, jeju kaya majibu. Yome jungse nyambar shows. Meditate little bit, meditate little bit. Mm. Mm. But fully awake. It's not like fainted. It's not like becoming like drowsy. It's not like that. Fully awake. It's fully awake. The energy is right there. Fully awake, fully aware. Just being aware. Just being aware. That's all. Just being aware. That's all. Just being aware without concern, without expectation. Just being aware. That's all. Of awareness. Just being aware of the awareness. That's all. Just being aware of awareness. That's all. That's all. Not fixing anything, not doing anything, not hoping anything, not worrying anything. But not fainted, not like fainted or not like kind of like falling apart. Not like falling apart. Not like being drowsy. How is it? Drowsy? Dozy. Drowsy. Fully awake. Fully awake. Nawa pempe, nawa appearance. Pempe, you can't really say this is this or this is that, this is good, there's bad, or there's long, there's short. No, you can't say anything. It's just nawa pempe. There's nothing there. There's no color, there's nothing, it's not there's no object, there's no object. There's no object. You can't say, oh, this is this, you can't say this is this is that. You can't say. It's just appearances, just appearances. Just appearances. There's nothing, there's no object, there's no object. Nawa pembe ngani la redo la so namdo kis. Jijo kaya mai yome junse nyambo shows. Yome just being there without distractions. Just being there without distractions. Distractions usually expectations, worry, no worries, no concern, no expectations. Just being there. Just trying to being aware of the awareness. That's all. Just trying to be aware of the awareness. You can say yourself, you can tell yourself, as Julie let last, I think 2 days ago. So there's someone we try to choose no visual image or no any image that is associated with the color and shape, just no image. So, like, they're very interesting. So, so then you become like still water. You become like still water. You become like still water. Still water. Mayo tambe chunandus. Mayo tambe chunandus. Just being aware of the awareness. No expectation, no concern, no worry. Become still water, still water. So then, small fish. Fish navigates in the still water, does not disturb the water, just goes by. Water is not disturbed by this little fish. Oh, I'm like, like I say, like anything that's related to the eye, anything that's related to the eye, whether it's the good things or bad things, anything that's associated with the eye, anything that is associated with the eye. Now that eye is like that eye is enjoying like it's still water, you become like still water. Separate set of mind is like little fish. Now navigating in this clear water. Wondering about the self. So many things that is associated with the self. Self, so many things that is associated with the self. Analyzing, analyzing experience of self, analyzing experience of self, because now that water is like calm, it becomes still. Before it's not still water, it's like moving here, there. Slow, it becomes like still now, no expectation, no concern, no worries related to the past, no worries related to the future, nothing. Still water. So now, then slow, now that without messing the water, without messing up the still water, the tiny fish, subject set of mind. Then analyzing experience of self, self. Yeah, then I think there's going to be productive meditations. Self, like so anything that is associated with the self. Without self, there will be nothing. All the stories, this life has stories. That's how you remember life, stories. Who you are, what you are, the stories that reminds you the self. Now the tiny fish that can examining the nature of the self. It's very interesting, like sometimes it's good to just analyzing itself. It's kind of interesting thing. Just analyzing self. Just analyzing self. You know, the meditation is very. I think like it's not that the intellectually it's not that hard to understand. Analyze it. Analyzing the experience of self, like I. I was disrespected by somebody. That I don't just go along. Analyze. I was disrespected. Maybe that you are wrong. Maybe you are not disrespected. That you just think. Analyze that I didn't. I was not taken very seriously. What does it mean I was not taken very seriously? What do you mean I was not taken very seriously? What I? Then become interesting. This become interesting. Rather than become negative, it become interesting. It become very interesting. What do you mean I was not taken very seriously? What do you mean I? It's become interesting. You know? Yeah, you mean like your body is not taken very seriously? Or you mean like your nose is not, no, your nose is taken very seriously? What do you mean I? You mean like your head is not taken very seriously? What do you mean you are not taken seriously by that person? That you are hurt? I was disappointed because I was not taken very seriously. What do you mean I? You mean like your nose or your ear or your hair or your what? Your clothes or what? Now you realize you can't really pinpoint. You can't really pinpoint. You can pinpoint. So it become kind of interesting. You know? It got kind of like whole thing change, whole concept change, whole this like experience kind of like I don't know. Somebody asking me pinpoint. I can't really pinpoint now. And before I thought it was there something very absolute. Now somebody asked me to pinpoint. I really can't. I don't know what to pinpoint. I can't pinpoint. So now bring that as a, what do you mean that you are not taking very seriously? What do you mean you are not taking very seriously? What do you mean you? You mean that your nose or your eye or your hand or your head, you go through them? No, none of them. What do you mean I now? This is the, like what's the, yeah, it's very interesting. Sometimes just to analyze when you get very upset. Oh, no, I was not treated very fairly. Or I was very much disturbed by this news. I was very much disturbed by that. Just analyze. Just first think about first as I mentioned before. First, just sit. Now, Pimpin. What are you trying to see? Nothing. I'm not trying to see nothing. What are you trying to see? Nothing. I'm just trying to be aware of my awareness. That's all. I'm just trying to be aware of my awareness. Are you trying to fix something? No. Are you worried about something? No, I'm not worried about something. Do you have some expectation? No, I don't have any expectation. I'm just trying to be aware of my awareness. That's all. Now, not trying to change anything, not trying to fix anything, just to be at the present moment. That's all. Just to be here, just to be here. That's all, nothing. Then slowly, you become like still water. Oh, still water. So then, but not, as I said, fully awake, not like sleeping or drowsing, or fully awake, fresh. So exercise, so to practice, practice like. Jadanilo tabu ije kabu mayo de juari be shishin dos, juari be shishin dos. Juari means, but you are aware, you are fully aware, you're aware. If you are, yeah, of course, then eventually what happens? Eventually what happens? Thought pops up. Thought pops up. What I should do? Nothing. Just recognize them. Just recognize them. Just look at them, do nothing. At least you learn there's temporary benefit. Of course, idea is to achieve karma abiding based on awareness. That's what you're trying. This meditation is you're trying to understand the conventional nature of your mind. You're trying to introduce yourself. You're trying to introduce yourself to the conventional nature of your mind. That's all. So what you're hoping, ultimately, you're hoping to achieve karma abiding based on your awareness. So for what? Trying to figure out self, trying to figure that out, self. That's I'm so attached to, I'm so attached to this self. And from there, so there I become, the things become more complicated. So from there, so I just want to be still water from there, and I just want to analyze my experience of myself. Very interesting, very interesting. What are you going to find? Very interesting.
May I ask a question? It's Susie.
You found something?
May I ask a question?
Oh,
It's
sorry,
Susie.
I thought that you found something.
I found a question.
Oh, so what time is it now?
8:30.
How much time we have? How much time?
15 minutes
Oh,
plus.
yeah. Ask question.
Okay, I don't mean to be dense. I get stuck on this. Let's say I'm looking at an image and I'm thinking of Shakyamuni Buddha sitting. And I'm looking for stillness in my mind, focusing on the object. If I'm not using an object, I'm looking at awareness. Is it similar in that I'm just using awareness rather than an object?
Yeah, that's correct.
And my goal is to achieve calm abiding based on that. So I can,
Yeah, that's correct.
if
Or
you're
your
using,
goal, or your goal can be just day-to-day life peace, mental peace. That's also okay too.
that would be nice. Yeah.
Yeah, that is also, that's okay. You don't have to be focused on karma abiding. So I just want to keep my mind calm day-to-day life. Then that's okay. Then you can go back and forth. You can go back to the awareness. You can go back to the image. In that case doesn't matter. Then of course, achieving karma abiding will be delayed. But if that's not your concern, achieving karma abiding will be delayed. If that's not your concern, but moving between objects back and forth, then achieving karma abiding will be delayed. But day-to-day life benefit is not going to be delayed.
Okay, so if you're looking at an object, if you're using an object in your mind, would you still be looking at the nature of mind?
No. You don't do simultaneously. Either you
No.
use image or you use one or another. You don't use both of them. Then it's
I-
already complicated. It's already complicated. It's going to be more complicated. So like no,
Mhm.
no, it's not going to get simpler.
I was just trying to understand if looking at the nature of mind was common to both. It is not. Awareness.
That's why the too many things, doing too many things. That's why we
Mhm.
just choose one, not more than one. One
Okay.
or another. Yeah.
We did this before, one or the other. Eventually I'll get it. I'm the one who said that before, one or the other. I'll get it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, one or another. Yeah, not both of them. Then what else? So then, please try. Try. So if you try, then I say something will happen. Something will happen. Something will happen. So okay, so need to try. Okay, so then, Domestic, how much time we have now?
Geshe, we've got about 12 minutes. And there was a question that came up on in the YouTube. She asked if you could answer whether Shakyamuni Buddha practiced calm abiding, and if so, what object did he use?
What object the Shakyamuni Buddha used?
Yes.
Need to do the divination. I'm not sure. Like I need to do divination. Oh, that's a very good question. So please tell her that I have no answer. I'm very sorry. I have no answer.
Okay.
So this is the first time I heard the question the last 20 years being in the state. This is the first time you ask. It's a very important one. I have no answer. So I will certainly think about the answer. I may never have any answer, but I will think about it. So that's very good one. So I will think about it.
Okay.
Sorry. So that's what object Shakyamuni Buddha use? Yeah. I don't want to guess. I could guess, but I don't want to guess. So I rather say I have no answer. I rather like to say I have no answer. That's better. Yeah. I could guess based on the practice. Could guess, but I prefer to say I have no answer. Sincerely, I have no answer. So very good questions. Okay. Dine? Yes, Domestic.
That was the only question, Geshe. We still have about 12 minutes.
So maybe next Wednesday, how's about then next Wednesday, I promise you I will move to 9 stages, but only half of the class. Half of the class, we are going to meditate. Does it sound good? So hopefully Julie will come, so then maybe lead meditation. So we will have the, we will check it out. That's how you say, check it out?
Yes.
Yeah, we are going to check it out. So,
Geshe, did you want to switch to mornings next week?
no, so now, she did say yes. But there's like, how many people cannot come?
Of the people that I heard from, there were 5 who definitely couldn't come. I only heard from about 15 people. So some of the people I didn't hear from, I would guess they can't come, but I don't know.
Should we try next Wednesday, try in the morning? Maybe Julie is not going to probably able to come because Julie is always busy. So I don't think she's available.
Yeah.
That's okay. So maybe someone else can lead.
So, yeah, and I had a question, what time in the morning? And we were talking about, I think 9:30 or 10 o'clock our time, or which would be 10:30, 11 o'clock your time. Or we
Yeah,
could go,
for me,
I don't
for
really know.
for me, doesn't matter. Time doesn't matter. So I'll be available. So like, if it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, I will wake up. So if there's something to do, I will wake up. Usually there's nothing to do, then I sleep. I have a lot of sleep to catch up. Almost 30 years back in the monastery. A lot of sleep to catch up. So I don't think the rest of the life is not enough to catch up all the sleep that I lost. Time there, Thomas, you decide. Doesn't matter. Okay, you decide time.
Okay,
Mm.
well, let's try. I'm looking to see if, I got a couple of things in chat, but nobody said what time. Let's, I mean, wouldn't 9:30 work for people? It's a little bit, or should we go earlier?
But
Okay, so I've gotten a couple of responses that 9:30 is good. So let's just go ahead and try 9:30 for next week and see how that works. And then please, people, if you know, if this doesn't work for you, let me know so we can work it out.
we are all Buddhists. Nothing's permanent. Everything impermanent. Everything change is okay. Change is very much welcome in the Buddha's teaching. So no need to worry. Yeah.
Well,
Worry.
if we have the class in the morning, would it be available then on YouTube that night?
Yes, it will always be on YouTube. We
Yeah.
always stream on YouTube. Yeah,
So we could have it on the same day. So if they couldn't make the morning, they could still catch it that night.
yes.
Mm. Yeah, so thank you very much. So now time is over. Kaden, how are you? How's your health?
I'm good. Doing a lot.
Oh,
My walking has improved a lot.
oh, very good. How's Activa and Ronaldo? Good?
Yeah, everybody's good.
Oh, yeah.
We're very close
Oh,
now.
oh, yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Oh,
For
yeah. Mhm. Yeah. So now, thank you very much for coming to class, and wish all of you a very wonderful night, and in the dream achieve Kamabhajin. Then tomorrow morning when you wake up, then start to fly. Yeah. Yeah, Alhamdulillah. So maybe dedication. Sure.
Kewadinu Buddha La Sa Gyune Do Alupa Te Asho Yanchu Sancho Rinpoche Make Panam Kirguichi 개원년 봄에
Yamba,
bon에 건드려워쇼 점표법을 지떡해 구두 삼포대 만드시게 대다 근기 죄로 개원 이다 들어요 주스 실패 개와 자기 삼포
So Samla, when we do the group, you say Dashin give it our degree to Dashin, you and others. Okay.
다시 계획사와 디kunkyong
Yeah, when we do the group practice, Dashin, you and others. Shem is others. When we do in a group, so it's by yourself, then you can say that.
간디 하웨 코웨 신캄디 단대와 말리 게레시 원진 다케시 조누이에 나랑와 초티 노상 야스게 툭수 전진장게 문수도 보제 족수 타레 투 타레 투레 타레 투레 소하 타레 투 타레 투레 소하 타레 투 타레 투레 소하 타레 투 타레 투레 소하
Yeah, good night. Everybody, good night.
Good night, Geshe-la. Thank you.
Good night, good night, good night,
Night.
everybody, good
Good
night.
night,
Thank you.
Geshe-la.
Good night.
Thank you, Geshe-la.
Thank you, Geshe-la.
Yes,
Okay.
Thank you. Good night.
Okay. Good night, good night. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.